Democrat mega donor and Florida personal injury lawyer. John, I know you donated $1 million to the Biden-Harris campaign. And I know they'd like your money now that Harris is likely to be the nominee. So what's next for you?
Well, what's next for me is I'm out. When all this happened, I wasn't upset about it. What I didn't like was a coronation instead of a convention. I didn't like the idea of 2 or 3 people picking the nominee, because I believe a convention would have provided perhaps a stronger candidate, or it would have made her stronger. That didn't happen. And so I said, I'm just going to take my money and go home. And guess what? They're going to raise plenty of money without me. They're not going to need me one bit. But for me, it was a bridge too far.
Well, they've raised a lot of money, $81 million, they say, in the last, 24 hours or so, 30 hours or so for Kamala Harris. But the question remains, she said today, late today, that she's going to win the nomination. Well, what does that mean right now, win the nomination? It's pretty much they forced Biden to drop out. He didn't want to drop out. He's been in Washington for 51 years, and they threw him to the side pretty quickly when they decided the numbers didn't add up. Do you think if she flames out in a similar way over the next 2 weeks, Lord knows what's going to happen. It's been a crazy news cycle. Will she survive?
Well, she's in it forever. And once Pelosi endorsed her, that was the end of the convention, because Pelosi had called for a mini convention. That's over. It's Kamala Harris, and they're going to live and die with her. My thought was, if you could pick anybody, don't you go and pick the 2 strongest people to win? I don't think they did. But guess what? It's not my decision. My decision is, you all go do what you want to do. I'll stay home, because I believe to raise millions of dollars, you have to, number one, be enthusiastic. You have to believe in the person, and you have to believe they can win. And if you don't have those things, you're not gonna have me. So I'm
well,
okay
you make bets,
with what
John.
they've done.
John, I was an old defense attorney. I was a criminal, white collar defense attorney. So, but you have a big law practice. So you make bets on cases. You make big bets because you have to put in an enormous amount of time to think you're going to get a payout at the end with a lot of contingency cases. And if you don't think that case is going to be successful, are you going to put all that money in up front and litigate that thing to the end? You have to make that calculation. Is that the type of thinking that you're engaged in now?
The type of thinking I'm thinking, Laura, is, and by the way, my son Matt said to tell you hello. He met you at Make-A-Wish. But
nice.
The way years ago, but what I'm thinking is this: I own a lot of racehorses. We just had one run in the Royal Ascot. When you go to the racetrack, you see who you think can win, and you bet on the horse that you think you can win, that will win. And in this case, I don't believe she can win. Now, does that make me a bad person? They want to make me a bad person for saying that. They want to say, "Oh my God, you're not." No, I don't think she could win. I think a combination of Joe Manchin, Andy Beshear, Josh Shapiro, Mark Kelly. I got 1,000 different scenarios that I think make more sense to win.
But John, that party's gone. John, that party's gone. I hate to tell you. You're super successful. You don't need my political advice, but that Democrat Party has sailed. That's gone. Manchin was going to run for about 5 seconds, and then he's out. Like Manchin's always threatening, like, I'm going to be the guy that comes in and challenge Biden. Now he's going to challenge Harris. But he's all talk and no action. He doesn't.
Well, they're never going to.
He's not going to take him on.
They're never going to pick Manchin for a lot of reasons. They're never going to pick Manchin, but there is Josh Shapiro. There is Gretchen Whitmer. It's like this: which person or persons do you think can win? If you could pick any. My thought is this, and I represent some people high up in the Trump organization for some cases. If they had to pick one person to run against out of the whole lot, they just pick one. I think they pick her.
I think you're 100% right, John, we have a mind meld, Democrat, Republican tonight. Because if I'm trying to pick someone, it's either Newsom, who's a disaster in California, or it's Kamala. All the other ones would be much harder to campaign against.
How about this? Andy Beshear and Josh Shapiro. Andy Beshear won twice in Kentucky in a red state. Trump won
but the
about
progressives
40 points.
hate him. Yeah, that's a party that doesn't exist anymore. That party hates Beshear.
Don't forget,
Kentucky
Laura,
likes him, but that's about it.
Well, but he knows how to win in difficult situations. Shapiro can win in a swing state. Whitmer can win in a look. It gets down to this: Michigan and Pennsylvania. If you don't win those two, it's over.
Well, but John, if you are one of those characters and you think you have a political future in 2028, my God, I would run from the invitation to be on Kamala's ticket. I would run
Laura,
as fast as they could.
Except those folks are thinking about name ID. What's the name ID?
There's going to be a long memory. If you can't beat Trump with everything they've thrown at Trump, and you go down in flames against Trump, you're going to be the next roadkill for the Democrat Party. They should run. John, we got to roll. It's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.